glaciers. They're melting because of, well, global warming. See, when ice and snow tend to get heat on them, they tend to melt. They do better in cold weathers. And there's different kinds of ice. There's, well, sea ice and land ice. Now, sea ice you would find in the sea like a glacier. Land ice is more, it's ice on land that you would see in, well, Greenland and on land, not in the sea. See, glaciers are important for many reasons. The first reason is they reflect heat off into space. When heat comes down and hits the glacier, it bounces right off the glacier and goes into space, which is good, for global warming not to happen. And they are also a habitat for these lovely things, animals, an Arctic fox and a very well-dressed polar bear. See, since the 1900s, it's started to get a lot hotter, so glaciers started to melt more. And this has really been happening since the Industrial Revolution. Well, global warming has been happening since the Industrial Revolution because we're burning CO2 and coal that creates CO2, carbon dioxide. And what are burning these fossil fuels? Humans. We are destroying the earth in more than one way. One of the ways is global warming. We are making the air hotter, and it's not good for these animals that need the coldness in the air. See, 95% of the oldest and thickest ice are melting because it's getting really, really hot. It is getting so hot that polar bears are dying because they have nowhere to go. They need the ice and the coldness. They have thick furs to keep them nice and warm in cold temperatures. But there isn't a lot of cold temperatures, so they would, you can imagine, overheat. Now just think about it. You don't like to be hot. You get hot and sweaty and sticky, and it's not a fun time. So imagine what these animals are feeling when we are making the world a hotter place to live in. See, and by also melting these glaciers, you're making the ocean warmer. Glaciers are like a big ice cube. It keeps your water that you're drinking or whatever you put it in, it keeps it cool, nice and cool for you to drink, and it's refreshing. By these going away and melting, it gets your drink gets warmer. It's just how it is. Now, imagine the ocean as your drink and glaciers as your ice cubes. Once the glaciers melt, the ocean is going to get hotter. It's just the way things work in the world. Now, also by the water getting warmer, animal life in the oceans could die. Certain tropical fish need colder environments. Things like penguins, they also need colder environments to live in. And we rather not have animals die. Because some animals we like to eat and others are just beautiful. Now, also, I'll be talking more in depth about this later, but when glaciers melt, all that water goes into the ocean, which rises the sea level, which could lead to floods happening. So all in all, we rather not have glaciers melt so we can keep animals alive, and so the world can be cooler, because that's important. Thank you.